Thank you, Eileen. Good morning, everyone. Apologies, I couldn't be with you. Inbound to Hong Kong travel requirements are still not back to normal. So the best I could do is to join you today virtually. Please allow me to share some insights gleaned from discussions with your peers, analysts, industry, and business leaders. Before 2020, the marketing hype around digital transformation was driven in part by the inspirational stories of tech-led companies like Grab, Shopee, Hachi, to name a few. And along the way, we discovered that digital transformation means different things to different people, and that there are many roads that lead to transformation. When COVID hit us, transformation timelines shifted from years to months as companies realized that to keep the business running, they had to work around the limitations of decreased customer mobility and work from anywhere. Those who are progressing in their digital transformation journey also realize that technology alone will not solve everything. People, whether they are employees or customers, are very important to success. Finally, when you consider that skills are in short supply, budgets are limited, and time is of the essence, platforms, ecosystems, and partner networks become the next best option. Which brings us to where we are today. Much has been learned since the start of the pandemic. The best among us have seen the results of what thinking outside the box can mean, particularly when coupled with an openness to new ways of doing business, including the willingness, for example, to accept that we don't hold all the answers internally. Before the pandemic, the technology hype and prioritize were on things like the Internet of Things, analytics, and robotic process automations, or RPA. That's not to say that these have disappeared in the last 3 years. These are still there, but the necessity of making things happen faster or risk missing out on the opportunities have propelled cloud, artificial intelligence, and mobile to the top of priorities. This year, as our experience with cloud matures and our understanding of things like narrow, general, and strong artificial intelligence become clearer, we will likely see more use cases and implementations of AI to meet both internal and external needs. Now, the path to competitive differentiation is different for individual companies and industries. Also, the mix of technology, and the way they have been deployed varies greatly from industry to industry. One learning from the 2 years of the pandemic is that the technology mix that leads to optimal performance will vary within individual industries. But there are learnings to be gained from successful companies, even if they are not in the same business as we are. Now, the following are 6 capabilities identified by a study from the IBM Institute of Business Value. To create greater level of agility and efficiency, outperformers are leveraging hybrid cloud twice as much as others. Outperformers are 1.4 times more likely to use intelligent automation to deepen customer relationships. COVID was a wake-up call that our supply chains are very vulnerable to disruption. Top performers are using AI for supply chain planning 54% more frequently than do their peers. In addition, COVID put organizations to the test at a massive scale, whether due to the huge spike in volume of transactions or the stay-at-home orders requiring employees to get the same work done remotely. Technologies are playing an increasingly performance differentiating role in the way the workforce is being effectively employed, engaged, and developed. Outperformers are using AI to communicate with employees twice as often and almost 90% more frequently for development and training. And finally, high performers are using AI 72% more frequently than others to gather and correlate business threat intelligence. Most of you are familiar with Changi Jewel. I've been there only once, but what most visitors to the Jewel do not know is that to make possible that memorable experience its designers intended to create, this requires orchestrating a complex myriad of technology, processes, and data to come together in real time to make the magic happen. Which brings us to our topic for today. Gartner defines artificial intelligence for IT operations, or AI ops, as the combining of big data and machine learning to automate IT operation processes. IDC for its part, says faced with the prospects of increasingly diverse and complex enterprise infrastructure estates, IT teams are turning to AI ops to help them efficiently manage infra operations by abstracting away the underlying complexity while simultaneously focusing on delivering business outcomes instead of just tracking IT metrics. In the Enterprise Management Association Strategic Automation Adoption Study, 32% of IT executives prioritize unifying automation across use cases. The study concluded that more active deployments of AI ops were directly linked to success, progressive levels of automation adoption, more focus on unified strategies, and other critical factors, such as having an automation center of excellence. 6 years since we started covering digital transformation, we've learned that it is not a point solution. It is the desire to achieve an outcome, whether that outcome is enhanced customer experience or improved profitability or perhaps operational efficiency. Many of the tools we will need in this transformation journey have three characteristics. They let us see what is happening, let us control what is happening, and to do so intelligently and automatically. Now, according to Gartner, AI Ops cuts across three domains of IT operations. Simply put, from a monitoring perspective, AI Ops looks at the kinds of data captured and, more importantly, deals with what it means and how it should be viewed. For IT service management, the technology plays a critical role in increasing incidents and leveraging existing knowledge to enhance the user experience through better performance and productivity. Again, in the meantime, automation drives deep insights into the data. AI Ops has been around since 2016, so it's not really new, but it is maturing. We have reached the stage where we have access to expertise to apply it to existing operations and the experience and knowledge to take it to the next level. I leave you with three things I hope you can take with you when trying to figure out AI Ops' place in your IT strategy. 1. AI Ops helps CIOs improve system reliability and IT responsiveness, thereby protecting our customer-facing platforms. 2. AI Ops provides a means to support growing platforms without corresponding cost increases. And finally, AI Ops is a strategic insurance investment to ensure that performance, reliability, and operating costs are maintained. With that, I leave you in the very capable hands of Eileen and the team at IBM to walk us through the next steps of what we can do. Thank you very much. Over to you, Eileen.